You're looking great today. I love your outfit. I love your beard. Just everything's perfect. You're just beautiful as always. And thank you for that glorious intro. But we're here at M.I.C.E, Massachusetts Independent Comic Expo. You're talking about comics in the studio today. We wanted to take you out of the studio and get a little bit more from the horse's mouth. So we're here to interview independent comic creators and see their process, their style, and what it takes to be an independent comic creator in this world. So why don't you take a look at what we found today. So we're here with Dan Mazer,
Liz Young,
Joey Peters,
Ben Hammer.
I'm James Mobius.
My name is Carl Antonowitz.
Ayaka Keda.
My name's Yasmina Murata.
My name is Shannon Wright.
Richie Pope.
This is the 9th year that we have been running M.I.C.E, the Massachusetts Independent Comics Expo, part of the Boston Comics Roundtable. We were going around to other cities, going to independent comic shows, and Boston didn't have one.
It is amazing. I have met so many friends and collaborators within this group.
Started as sort of a support group for people who have this problem of wanting to make comics, which is a terrible idea.
Handily one of the best shows in the East Coast circuit.
I feel like this community is very warm and accepting.
I just see like a lot of compassion here. I see a lot of opportunities for people, and like this show really does a great job of like accepting a lot of different people to come in. It's a lot of organic diversity.
I feel like so much of like maybe like more mainstream stuff, you feel like you have to like know this person and like build this thing and like, get this big book or something. And here it's like you just make something and then you show up and then like people be into it.
What would you say is the sort of importance of these indie comic publishers, these sort of independent artists putting their stuff out there?
This is people doing personal stuff. It can be as weird as they want to. It can be as autobiographical as they want to.
A lot of the time, publishers have in their mind not just what they like, but also what they think is going to sell.
For me, you really get that freedom to tell your own stories. There's not that limitation.
Right now I'm representing the distro Big Mouth Comics. It's a distro that heightens Middle Eastern, South Asian, North African voices. A lot of the creators are queer, non-binary, just myself and femme. So it's just distro like really dedicated to elevating these voices and getting those stories out there.
I recently had my work in the Being True anthology, which is the LGBT comics anthology that sold out on its first printing here at the table today.
I made this comic, it's all mine. No one gets to say, oh no one's gonna like that type of thing or this type of thing.
I put $40,000 worth of labor into the production of this 40-page book. There's 50 copies. Well, it's $10 a copy, but there's only 50 copies, so they're worth $800 a piece, right? So $10 is a pretty good price for an $800 comic.
While it's not the biggest money field in the world, there are people who want to read it. That's why this show and shows like it exists. Yeah.
You know, this is something I always like to ask. So for maybe people starting out in, the independent comics world, wanting to create their own book, get something going, what's a piece of advice you give someone maybe starting out like that?
Well, the most practical piece of advice, there's so much advice. Like, do what you love, just do it.
Make work and then make another one and then make another one. Even I struggle sometimes like trying to get stuff done. Like you get in your own head and you have like an idea, you're like, let me push that to the back, like just make one thing, make another thing, and just like keep it up, and like, eventually you have like a table full of books.
You really can't think about, is it worth it financially? You have to do this because you love it.
I feel just draw a lot, and I think just start to put your ideas on the paper. Yeah.
Just do it, put it out there, like write with your heart, and the rest will follow.
I make it for my audience, but again, first and foremost, it's for me.
If you're having fun, you keep going, and even if it doesn't sell, even if it doesn't turn out exactly the way you wanted it to, it wasn't a wasted time. You enjoyed it, and that's great.
Finding community, finding other people who do what you do and like what you do, that's really important too. Coming to shows like M.I.C.E, joining a group like Boston Comics Roundtable if you're in the area. I think that's just really important, just for support, for showing people your work, for getting advice. Okay.
And Dan, anything else you want to say to our amazing viewers out there?
Yes, you are an amazing group of viewers for watching this wonderful show.
DIY is the show. But thank you, Dan, so much. I really appreciate having your time. Thank you. We got an interview. Wow, that was such a great event. So many great comics, so many great stories we heard today. I want to thank M.I.C.E for having us. If you weren't inspired, you obviously weren't paying attention. Let's throw it back to the studio. Andy, how you feeling, baby? You looking good? You feeling good?
It's time